Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I'm getting a lot of comments to say my opinion again on the toddler falling from the cruise ship, as it's just got so many twists and turns. First off, just let me say once again my complete condolences with the family. As a grandfather myself, I cannot imagine going through this situation. It is probably the worst possible situation a family could go through. Can you imagine being the grandfather and having to look at your daughter after this, or your daughter looking at your father after this? It's just hard to get over, and I hope they possibly can through this tragedy situation. So some stories have come to light now. As y'all know, when story first dropped, people were saying that at first the child crawled to an open window to peek out and fell out. Then people were saying that the grandfather was holding the child and it fell out the window. Now the family is saying that's not what happened. What happened was that the grandfather put the child up on a railing that runs along the side of the glass panes of the window, thinking it was a full glass wall and there was no open window there. It sounds like he stepped away by about a foot from the child, thinking she's just going to bang on the glass, because apparently she liked to do that at her brother's hockey games, where you can go up against the glass and it was, the kids can see what's going on. You can understand that. And when she apparently, she thought probably going to do the same thing, and he thought that was going to happen, and there was no glass there to bang on, and over she went. And this is what they're saying. They're saying there's no alcohol involved. The grandfather was not a drinker at all. And now we come that the lawyers have gotten involved. And this is the situation now. We start getting into legal talk. The family posted some pictures of the area and showed how hard it would be to notice which window is open and which window is closed. They're saying this was a kids' play area. Why do they have windows that can be opened on the cruise ship? And why was the window open? So this is negligence on the part of the cruise ship, because it's logical to assume that this was a full solid piece of glass and that there was no danger, because there was no sign posted and no warning posted. Okay. I always have issues with people who say there should be a warning label on everything. Everything in this world can kill you. Everything in this world can harm you. So I do have an issue with that. To me, that's not an excuse that there's no sign, there's no warning. That's a cop-out, in my opinion. Like, cars run over people. Do you have to put a label on every car saying caution may run you over? You know what I mean? Do you need to put signs at crosswalks, caution, you may get hit by a car? There's only so much that you can be warned about legally and logically. If something is, you're going to eat something and there's a possibility it has poison in it and can kill you, that should have a warning label on it, like cigarettes, right? But, everything else in this world can harm you as well. So saying that there was no particular sign on this particular window in this particular area, caution, these windows can be open, caution, that's to me a false claim. Not to be hard on the family or the lawyers, this is lawyer talk more than family talk. So the lawyer says that the grandfather placed the child on the railing, and then I guess either was lightly holding the child or just watching the child, expecting it. And when reporters asked the lawyer, well, couldn't he tell by the wind? You're on the 11th deck of a cruise ship. It's usually pretty windy up there, as you know. And couldn't you tell by the noise? And the lawyer said, I don't have answers to that question right now. We want to know why the window is open. So by the assumption that the lawyer has, that it's logical to presume that this was a full pane of glass and there's no windows open, the reverse can be said for the cruise line, saying it's logical to assume that somebody would not put a 1.5-year-old person on a railing next to an open window. It's not like the window was on the ground and the child could walk over to it. Somebody literally would have to lift that child up to put them up there. They could not climb up to this railing. So you see how these complications get out there. Another fact out there is that police in San Juan are investigating the grandfather and whether or not there should be negligent charges involved. So we don't, the family is trying to portray the cruise line as being all at fault. And you know what? I think I may do the same thing in their situation. Nothing at all against the family. But in something like this, in a tragic situation, you're always looking for an answer other than it was my fault, right? Because if it's your fault, you have to live with that. And I honestly, personally, could not fathom having to go through that. So I perfectly understand this. I'm no bad feelings towards the family at all. This is not on them. This is not saying they're wrong. This is not saying they're right. This is not blaming them for anything. Because most times when you hear, what's in it for me, if they're suing, to me this is not a case of what's in it for me, we want money. It's a case of trying to come to peace of mind with your own thoughts on what happened, right? Because if all the realization comes down to you that it was your fault, you have to live with that the rest of your life. If it comes down that it was your father's fault that your child died on vacation, you have to live with that the rest of your life. So I don't think this has anything to do with we're looking for money. I think they're looking for peace of mind. And I can't blame them whatsoever. Now, we all know cruise ships have tons of cameras out there. Tons and tons of cameras. And you can bet that there's camera footage of the incident. And not only are the family asking for it to be released, but so is the prosecutors. Because each side believes in a different story right now. And so we really won't know the true story. Is the grandfather making this up to try and ease, tensions between his own family? Is was he completely right and that's all what happened? He wasn't holding the child at all up against a window, and it's we don't know until that footage come out. And Royal Caribbean obviously is not really going to make a comment other than, we totally regret the situation and are helping the family, and they are providing hotel rooms and air flights, and they're providing all the things that out of the company's money. The family at least doesn't have to worry about that sort of things, because they have to go to the police and everything in San Juan because of the investigation going on. So this is costing them extra money, but Royal Caribbean is providing that care, and they're also providing any counseling or things like that. So good on Royal Caribbean for stepping up that way, no matter what. Whether they're negligent or not, they're doing the right thing by the family, and the family has acknowledged as well that they have been very helpful to help them through this situation. So that's good. It's just a really bad situation, right? There's no good outcome. They can sue Royal Caribbean and get millions of dollars, but that won't bring the little girl back. And she's such an adorable little kid. I'm not going to put her photos up here. I think that's a little bit disrespectful. Just like I'm not putting photos of the grandfather or the parents up there, even though they're all over the internet. I think they should be left alone. I'm commenting on the situation I'm not commenting on their names. I'm not commenting on their pictures and everything. I'm just saying, this is the story that's going on so far. So what do you guys think? Can you understand why the family has reached out to lawyers? Do you think, yes, why is there a window up there that can be opened in a kid's area? Why is that possible? Should there be signs up? Should there be locks on all the windows that have to be opened that way? That's a possibility. The next thing they also have to look at is who opened the window. Was it a fellow passenger? Or was it a maintenance person or a staff member? That's a completely different situation, right? So all this is going to come out in the future. Royal Caribbean has said they are cooperating obviously with both the investigation and the lawyers, and they're just not going to comment on anything yet until, because anything they say is liable, so they're not going to comment on it. But they are going to release the footage to the prosecutors, and the lawyers will see them as well, and maybe they'll have a better, clearer picture of what's going on. And if the lawsuit continues, then it might look like, yeah, you know what, the grandfather's story is viable. If the prosecutors start prosecuting, it might look like, yeah, that's not quite the story. So that's kind of how it'll lean, right? One way or the other. And we'll have to wait and see what happens. But again, this is one of those cases. Normally I just rag over people who immediately go to the lawyers because everyone knows it's usually what's in it for me. Just like those people who miss, oh, we missed power for 20 minutes. I want free drinks on the rest of the cruise and that kind of thing, right? I want to get something for free. This isn't, I really don't think this is the case. I think this is just them trying to make sense of a terrible, terrible situation. What do you guys think down below? It's just tragic no matter what. There's a no win-win situation in any of this. Money's not going to help ease your mind. Going through a lawsuit and bringing this up over and over and over again, I don't think is going to ease anybody's mind. So it's just terrible. Let me know what you think down below. I hope you appreciate this news update. I hope you appreciate why I don't bring pictures of families and mention names out of respect for the families. I don't think that's right. I wouldn't want my name and pictures plastered all over the place in a tragic situation like this. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, please everybody, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.